Again, got half of the bay primered. Just put this coat on. Decent job. Not too bad. Could be better, but for what it is, it's not too bad. Still gotta take off this thing, mask off this rest of the stuff right here, and then I should be able to hit this part right here. That's one thing I want to do on this side. Before I do that, just reinforce that wheel well a little bit. For the most part, it's way better. And not really too worried about getting overspray on the rocket pinion because it is going to be changed. I mean, the rocket pinion, but the subframe that's going to be changed. So doesn't really matter too much. But when I do paint it, I want to have everything down there painted. So might wait till when I actually paint to change the subframe. Like basically, so when I'm ready to paint, I'll pull the subframe off, paint the undercoat, and then put the subframe back on. But I'm gonna paint the subframe maybe just wrinkled black or somewhere on those lines. But yeah, next thing I'm gonna do right now is take out the brake booster, scuff up this side a little bit, and then I may put a plastic bag on this thing just in case. That little collar for the steering column, just so it doesn't get overspray on it. The subframe doesn't really matter too much. Somebody could always repaint that. Then I'm gonna take off all those little grommets, get that coat down, and we'll be almost all set. Then I'm gonna see if I can wire in the conversion harness at least halfway, and then yeah, I think that'll be almost everything. Yeah, we're making progress. Still gotta set up the motor and the engine stand. Got all my primer and all that there. Also, I'm gonna primer the wheel well, whatever, inside the fender, all in here as well, just so everything matches. And then I have to treat that with rust to drill all the holes, because I'm gonna end up bolting in the core support instead, just like the EG. So it'll be easily removable, and then it'll just bolt on these two bolts right there. But so let's go ahead and get some work done, and I'll come back to you guys. All right, I got a little update for you guys. For the most part, got everything primed. Got most of this fixed up already. Just gotta put a couple of rivets in, and then just mold it out with the body glaze. But everything else is primered already. Kind of semi-wrapped everything up. Fuel lines I'm not really too worried about, and then this little evap canister line, that's being removed, so I'm not really worried about getting overspray on it. I did cover up like the little boot color on the rack. That's the only thing, just in case if anybody buys this subframe, that if they care about that. But I mean, anybody can repaint the subframe. Yeah. for the most part, everything's primed. I'm just gonna go ahead and wet sand it maybe once. Nothing too crazy. It already looks good how it is. I just gotta go get the paint now. So next video should be laying down some paint. I got a little bug in here, but all this is already dry from earlier. Just hit this the course report just now, but I got those lower condenser brackets removed. Well, they wasn't really even held on anyways, because I'm not too sure because it's an aftermarket course report, but those brackets was barely even on there, or they could be cheaper material. But got the course report basically lined up, and then it's bolted in here on both sides. These two bolts are just mop-up bolts. They're not gonna be the permanent bolts, so I'm not worried about getting overspray on them. They're just there to hold everything into place. But yeah, everything else is pretty good. So next thing would be the paint. Once I get ready to paint, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the subframe off. So next video, we're gonna pull the subframe off, paint, then put the new subframe in, integral subframe, and then slowly but surely we should be putting everything back in. Yeah, so stay tuned. Oh, we also have the engine here. Almost forgot to show this. Got the headers kind of like mocked up on it, but yeah, still have to clean this up a little bit. It still has a bunch of gunk on it, but yeah, I'm gonna go through it, just refresh it a little bit, as I would recommend doing with all engines. No matter if you get it from somebody that said came out of running car, but for your application it might be different, because now we're running in a swap car instead of being like a regular TSX. So some stuff you're deleting, some stuff you're not using, and then like it's a whole bunch of different things. But basically it could come into the factor of overheating issues, because the head gasket could have been going down, you know, if it could have been not showing no signs in the car that it was in, because it was a regular economical car. But now that you're going in the swap car, you know, you're changing a bunch of parts, some stuff might be brand new, so you'll be running into more issues there, chasing down the rabbit hole. So I do recommend refreshing the engine as you get it before you put it in the car. Even though I tested the compression disc, the compression is good all around. I'm pretty sure I could just clean it up, throw it in the vehicle, but just so I don't have to pull this engine out as much, basically I just want to just have it ready to go in, and then like the major thing I would have to do is maybe pull it again if the engine blows, or if I completely swap like to a different block, or etc. But the head, I can swap that in the car. It's not too big of a deal. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and end off here, and then I'll get back to you guys with this. Give you a good little clip of this. Also mask off the windshield too. Don't want that windshield getting any overspray.